Hi, my name is Malika Brown, and I am the Hair Growth Coach, and welcome to this week's edition of Hair Tip Tuesday, where I give you all the information you need to slay your hair goals and live your best hair life. This week's topic is all about braids, okay? I love them. I am an 80s baby and a 90s kid, so braids were a staple, okay, of my childhood. So there are so many different styles, so many different things that you can do. And with braids becoming more popular, I feel like it's my responsibility to kind of break down some of the things about braids so you guys can actually use them properly. So that's my goal, is to always make sure I inform you guys to help you choose styles for your hair type, and once you get them installed, to have them installed properly. So we are going to jump right into it, okay? So braids are a great protective style because they tuck away the ends of the hair, okay? Especially with the new knotless braids, you get less tension on the scalp, and you're still able to get that effect of box braids. So that's why a lot of people choose them to be a great protective style, okay? But too much of a good thing is a bad thing, okay? So there are 5 essential steps that I want you guys to think about as you go to get your next set of braids, okay? The first thing is, are you a good candidate for braids, okay? I always tell my clients that have very fine hair, very soft hair, that they have to be very, very mindful of getting braids because the tension can be way too much. Also, when getting your braids, if your hair cannot support the weight of adding in braiding hair, you also may not be a good candidate for braids. The second thing to know is that if you have any type of scalp condition like psoriasis, eczema, any thinning, balding, alopecia, braids is not going to be the protective style that you're going to want to go with. Why? Because it places way too much stress on the hair follicle that can lead to irreversible hair loss, meaning you can't get that hair back once it's gone. So just keep those things in mind, okay? Of course, not wearing braids too tight. Guys, I've seen if you start to get bumps and irritation around your hairline, once you get braids installed, that means that they are too tight. When braids are too tight, it restricts the blood flow, and that does not produce growth. We need oxygen and blood flow to be able to flow through the scalp so we can actually grow out our hair, okay? Keeping it in longer than 4 weeks. This is a pet peeve. So I tell my clients 4 to 5 weeks at the max, because what happens is hair grows up to a ½ inch per month. So as the new growth starts to come in, it's not able to be treated, if that makes sense, okay? It's not able to be treated. So along with the daily shedding as well, when you take those braids out beyond that 4 to 5 week mark, you will see a lot of breakage, because remember, this hair is fresh, it's new growth. It has never been abused or anything. It's new growth. So it's going to be a little bit weaker than your regular hair that you are able to treat and access, okay? So make sure you guys are keeping that in mind. You are not leaving your braided styles in longer than 4 to 5 weeks, okay? Also, not getting them too thin. I love the lemonade braids, but for my hair texture, lemonade braids would not be a good option because of the tension. So the smaller the braids, the more tension is going on the scalp. So be mindful of that, okay? Also, be mindful of the weight. Your braids should not be too heavy, because that can lead to unnecessary tension and unnecessary pulling, okay? If it's day 2 and you can't put your hair up in the braids because there's so many braids, or the braids are very, very heavy, that is a sign that you will be dealing with breakage once you take those down. So beauty is pain, but braids should not hurt, okay? I just want to put that out there. Using synthetic hair. Okay. I try to opt for more human hair options when I get braids, but I know synthetic hair is right at your local beauty supply store and it's convenient, okay? But synthetic hair is actually coated with a alkaline base, and unfortunately and surprisingly, a lot of you guys are allergic to that. So if you ever got a braided style and you started to itch like, oh, what is this? Why is my hair itching so bad? It's not because the hair is so dry. It's because that alkaline base laying on top of the scalp is causing irritation. So to be able to combat that, make sure that if you think you have a allergic reaction to synthetic hair, prior to getting your braids done, you can actually soak your braiding hair in apple cider vinegar and a little bit of water for 15 to 20 minutes before you actually install that in your hair. If it's already installed and you didn't realize, but you think you are having a reaction to it now, you can actually do the same thing. Put it in a spray bottle and you can actually spray it down the hair. Now, with that method, it may take a couple more days because it's already installed in your head. So if you think you do have an allergy, y'all, it's not worth losing any hair over or having a really irritated scalp. Just take the braids out and then look for a better quality hair. One of the most important tips that people don't understand is that you can wash your hair in braids. You should wash your hair in braids, okay? So not only do you have product buildup, but you have dead skin cells, especially if you are working out. That sweat literally sits on the scalp. And once the sweat is on the scalp, it actually coats the scalp. So you want to make sure that you are constantly refreshing the scalp. So I would definitely suggest using a co-wash. If you want something that's not as intense as a co-wash and you want to kind of use it throughout the week, you can always use apple cider vinegar. You can use a cotton ball and take it and rub down the scalp. I just tell you guys to really avoid the braid sprays or the sprays that are designed for extensions or locks or things like that that have a very high alcohol content because we don't want to promote dryness. Okay, that's also a tip too. If you have severely dry hair, you also want to be mindful about the braids that you get and also the hair that you get, because synthetic hair also draws out moisture in the hair as well too. So if the hair is already super dry before you get braids and you add in this synthetic hair, you more than likely you will see breakage, because dryness equals to breakage. So make sure that you get your moisture balance together before you move on and choose a braided style. Okay, use a water-based hydrating spray to spray your braids down and to keep them fresh. Okay, that will really help keeping frizz down, and that'll help keep them looking new, because remember that your natural hair is already intertwined in the braids, so you can't get full access to them, but you want to make sure you capitalize on the limited access that you do have to your hair. Okay, using a very light oil. Okay, one of the best oils that I recommend for the scalp is grapeseed oil, jojoba oil. I even like avocado oil. And the reason why I say that I like these oils is because they actually penetrate. You want to stay away from the really thick oils because they don't penetrate. They are designed to seal. Okay, so that's like your Jamaican black castor oil, your heavy coconut oils. They are designed to seal the moisture in. Okay, so if it's already dry, you're not going to get moisture from a sealing oil. So stick with grapeseed oil, avocado oil, things of that nature, and your scalp should be very happy. You don't have to put on a lot, but you want to make sure that you are being consistent, and as you are applying it, make sure that you are massaging it in so it can really get down into the follicles. My last tip is just how you guys do when you wear your silk presses or you wear any other type of style that's not necessarily braids. You want to use a silk based scarf, a silk based bonnet, a silk pillowcase. You just want to make sure that you are being very consistent with tying your hair up, because again, our hair is robbed of moisture in the elements. So you don't want the hair that is exposed to the elements to get even drier, okay, by sleeping on like a cotton pillow. So be sure to tie your hair up. Thank you guys for watching this week's edition of Hair Tip Tuesday. And if you have a hair question for me or a video that you would like to see, make sure that you email me at info@thehairgrowthcoach.com, and I will see you guys next week.